Here it is, part 3. We made it. We are officially ready to take the motor out, to take the primary case off, split the motor and transmission, take them both out. So here's how the bike is. Here's how it sits right now. First things first, we're going to work on the primary. We're going to take that off and then move to the other side. We're going to have to take off the 2 bolts from the starter that go into the primary. Take off the transmission cover so that we can get this clutch wire off. Finally, we got some oil lines to disassemble. Just looking at the frame, it looks like it's in pretty good shape in terms of there not being any major dents or it being bent in any places. There is one spot I'm gonna have to work on, which is right here. I don't know what this was or what the guy before me did, but he just kind of did a half-assed hack job. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind this down flat and flush so that it just looks nice and clean. Other than that, as soon as we get this engine out, we're gonna start getting things prepped and sent off to get powder coated. So without getting too long-winded, let's get after it. Alright, so when it comes to motorcycle clutches or underneath the primary cover, I have really no idea what I'm looking at, but I have been noticing a lot of, the last 2 times I've drained this, a lot of material in terms of shavings, more than what I'd like to see. So here I know we have our clutch. The teeth on it look pretty good. Looks like we got a little bit of milkiness up here. I've heard that's due to vent holes from the transmission, but obviously this isn't the transmission, so that's something I'm gonna have to kind of read up on and look at. In terms of where the material is actually coming from, I'm not super sure. So, but we're gonna go ahead and start taking this. We're going to take this off so we can pull off this inner primary cover and then keep moving on. Alright, quick update. That was embarrassing. I had the wrong tools and I thought I could make them work. Did not work. I'm not even gonna show you what I tried. But the clutch is off, compensator's off. Someone's definitely been in here because these tabs that are supposed to be notched down against the bolt head, none of them none of them were bent. They were all just kind of, it looked like, so someone's never been in here, as well as there is a crap ton of what looks like gasket maker on a lot of these bolts. So we're gonna have to do some double and triple checking on all the seals, gaskets and stuff. I'm thinking, since I'm in here, I might just replace the clutch while I'm in here. I'm obviously gonna replace all the seals and everything, but a clutch is, it's cheap insurance since I'm already in here, so that's probably the route I'm gonna go down. I've run into another problem where the starter bolts, in order to get to them in I'm gonna have to take off this oil pan. I don't have anything that's long enough to reach them. So just another one of the cases in this build where I've run into, I don't have the exact tools I need to do the job properly as it sits, so I gotta start tearing down other things to get to it so I can do it. So not a big deal. We're just kind of jumping back and forth, which is not something I love doing. I kind of like to do one thing at a time and then move on to the next, but that's how we got to do it, and that's how we're going to get it done. So I'm going to clean up my workspace here a little bit, and then we're going to move on to getting this, to getting the oil, it's fucking late. Yes. Fuck yes. Victory. It's a fucking mess in here. I mean, not really, but we got it. It's out. That's it. Engine's out. Where the fuck did I put the transmission? Transmission's out. Last thing is just to take the 2 shocks out. Stoked right now. Also exhausted. This shit took me way longer than I thought it was gonna take. Way longer. I didn't have the correct size socket for the compensator. I tried to jimmy rig something up. Not even close to working. Not even close. So what I thought would turn out to be one of the easier parts of this build, even easier than the first day, because I think the first day was probably the easiest. Taking off the wiring harness, taking off the tires, shit like that. Second video got a little harder, just because there were some things I needed specialty tools for, so I kind of had to figure it out with what I had. Tonight sucked. It was absolutely terrible. I thought, gonna take off the inner outer primary, crack the engine transmission, and it's gonna be a quick 2 hours. I didn't have the right tools, couldn't really figure it out without the right tools. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare, but the bike is 100% disassembled. It's all done. All my parts are completely off the bike. There's a few little things I need to take off before it can go to powder coat, or some things that need to be taken off. Like for instance, the engine here, the top engine mount needs to be taken off. That's gonna go get powder coated. We're gonna be doing a full rebuild on the carburetor. Here's our frame. It looks in great shape. I'm gonna clean it up and get a closer look at all of our weld points, and just try and find any areas that might have some issues, just so that we're 100% certain this thing is totally ready for powder coating. I am going to grind this down, like I said in the beginning, nice and flush. It just looks like shit, so this is going to be nice and flush. I'll probably taper this down to this flat part. Got all of our parts, inner outer primary, transmission. Didn't end up taking off the clutch cable. I'm just gonna get a whole new one. Looking at it, it's old. We're gonna replace it. Probably gonna end up replacing that. Not a fan of the chrome. Gonna have to go through all these parts and figure out exactly which ones I'm keeping, which ones are gonna get powder coated, which ones I'm getting rid of and I'm not gonna be putting back on the bike, and I'm gonna be replacing it for something else. So from here until the end of the build, it's just gonna be, it's probably gonna be a lot slower than what it's been up until this point. All of just the tedious, monotonous, small things, so that by the end of the build, you know, the little things in my eyes are gonna matter. I'm gonna see them. So, appreciate you guys watching the video. I don't do this for likes or comments or subscribes or subscriptions, whatever. I don't do it for any of that. I'm doing it just for me. So, and if for some reason, and if I can help somebody out who is trying to figure out something and I mess up and they learn from my mistakes, right on. And I'm just trying to have fun doing it, and I am. This is a fun process. It's 100% a learning process for me. I've never done this before, but I am learning a whole hell of a lot. So putting everything back together, I've done a pretty good job of labeling everything. There are a few odds and ends that I'm just gonna have to try and remember. Probably just gonna end up looking back at videos and photos and stuff to remember where things go. The next video is probably gonna be me cleaning up what's gonna get ready to go to powder coating. I'm almost 100% certain anything that's going to be getting painted or whatever, it's all getting powder coated. I'm going to go powder coat on everything. I have a guy across the street who does great work. He's done work on a lot of our trucks before. He does absolutely fantastic job. Great pricing. So anything that it's going to be redone is going to get powder coated. So I'm going to be going through the frame, the rear swing arm, all of my parts, getting everything ready, and deciding on what color combination I'm going to be doing. So thanks for tuning in. Part 4, it's coming up soon.